Welcome to the School of Tales. Roque José Florêncio, known as Pata Seca, was born in 1828 in Sorocaba, São Paulo, during a time when Brazil was still a Portuguese colony. While the region saw a diverse influx of European settlers, the brutality of slavery continued to thrive, especially among those of African descent. Pata Seca's life was a story of resilience in the face of unimaginable hardship. Pata Seca, a remarkable man with a strong physique and towering over 7 feet tall, was, unfortunately, one of the countless black individuals who were abducted and enslaved during this dark period. There are no records of his parents or siblings because, at a young age, he was cruelly separated from his family. His owner, Joaquim José de Oliveira, forced him into a life of field labor and breeding. The origin of Pata Seca's name, meaning dry foot in Portuguese, is shrouded in speculation. Some believe it stemmed from his remarkable ability to walk barefoot on scorching soil without flinching, while others suggest a skin condition caused his feet to become dry. A more intriguing theory posits that he earned this name because he left no traces behind, making it nearly impossible for his captors to track him down. Pata Seca's captivity was a brutal ordeal. He was transported to Villa Sorocaba and sold to Visconde da Cunha Bueno, a white plantation owner whose wealth was built on coffee production. At this time, there was a widespread superstition that tall and robust men with thin shins could father more male babies, an essential requirement for laborious tasks. As a breeding slave, Pata Seca had no say in his reproductive activities. He was compelled to have unprotected sexual encounters with numerous enslaved women to produce a robust labor force. The children born from these unions were systematically monitored by their masters. Often, white slave owners separated the children from their parents and brought them to the big house. Initially, they were used as servants, performing domestic chores and enduring long hours. As they grew older, many of these children were earmarked as potential slave breeders themselves, perpetuating the traumatic cycle their parents endured. Pata Seca, the perfect breeding tool, was well-fed and subject to regular health checks. He fathered an astonishing number of children, estimated to be around 249, many of whom were born into slavery. This prolificacy made him indispensable to his owner, securing him relatively better treatment. Pata Seca's life, marked by suffering and oppression, did not extinguish his love for his children. He passed on crucial skills like reading, self-defense, and survival to his offspring. Many of his children assumed leadership roles within communities of enslaved people who resisted the oppressive slave regime. Pata Seca's rebellious spirit never waned, and he fought against plantation owners and led slave revolts. Though scant official documents substantiate these claims, oral traditions from locals and descendants recount Pata Seca's years spent in pursuit of freedom. He once led a revolt that offered escaped slaves refuge in the region of Pernambuco, which was once the 5th largest producer of sugarcane in Brazil. Pata Seca's life was not limited to forced breeding. He also tended to horses and served as a courier, transporting correspondence between the farm and the city. In an unexpected turn of fate, Pata Seca encountered love during his time as a courier. On his way to collect letters in São Carlos, he met a young woman responsible for sweeping the area. Their relationship blossomed, culminating in a proposal and eventual marriage. Pata Seca, who was gifted a plot of land by his former owner upon the abolition of slavery in Brazil in 1888, decided to establish a family with his wife, Palmira. Together, they had 9 more children, forming a family of their own. Embracing the life of a farmer, Pata Seca operated Sítio Pata Seca, his farm. Here, he diligently worked to produce and sell rapadura, a solid form of unrefined cane sugar. Despite modest earnings, he used them to provide for his family, nurturing their well-being and sustaining dreams of a brighter future. Tragedy struck Pata Seca's life when an accident resulted in a severe injury. Stepping on a nail, he developed tetanus, and despite the efforts of a local healer, his condition rapidly deteriorated. In February 1958, at the age of 130, Pata Seca passed away, just 3 months after participating in the city's birthday parade as the oldest man in the county. Pata Seca's life serves as a harrowing reminder of the immense suffering endured by Africans who were enslaved in Brazil. Despite the hardships he faced, Pata Seca's legacy lives on as a testament to the strength and resilience of those who endured the darkest chapters of history.